Hello and greetings from Bangalore, India. My name is Ram, and in this short video I'm going to tell you something about a drop-in replacement for the MCM68766 EPROM that's found in some of the older pieces of test equipment, notably the Tektronix 7854 oscilloscope. It's a beautiful machine. I bought it from eBay a couple of years ago. Most of it was working. I had to perform a couple of tweaks to get it completely working. One of the issues that plagues this particular oscilloscope is the ROM board. Now this ROM board, which you can see here, I've unplugged it from the machine, actually has 4 EPROMs on it. These particular EPROMs on my machine were made by Motorola, but some of the other EPROMs prior to this were not very reliable, which means what you end up with is probably a forgetful EPROM. What I have done here is basically to remove one of these chips for comparison, and I have placed it next to a drop-in replacement that I built using an Atmel parallel EEPROM, which is much easier to program and is still in production today, which means that you can quite conveniently substitute one for the other with no change in functionality. Like I said, this is a drop-in replacement, or meant to be a drop-in replacement for the MCM. And therefore you should just be able to drop it into any standard EPROM programmer, the ultraviolet variety, and program your firmware onto it. What I'm using here is a design by Matt Millman, which is available freely on the web. It's an EPROM programmer design, and the components that I have populated are specifically for the MCM68766. And what I have inserted here is not the original EPROM, but my drop-in replacement. When I start programming it, you can see the LEDs start to blink. And that's because, being an EPROM programmer, this programmer sends out 25-volt pulses to the chip, and those are actually stepped down by the 2 LEDs to a safe voltage at TTL levels. Now for the moment of truth. You can see I have plugged in the replacement here. You gently drop the ROM card back into its slot and then power on the machine and see if it passes the self-test. All the lights come on. Voila! The self-test is indeed complete.